Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land.
Hello there, Servum17 once again. A lot of people have been asking me what I think about the PvP, and I said I wasn't going to make a video, and I decided to. I was originally going to get rid of this footage. This is literally me using the cracked orbs that I had on me after I'd got a little bit annoyed at the game farming the Suspicious Shadow armor set, which you can see me wearing right now. And before anybody asks, you know, for my build and things like that, this is a PvE build, guys. It's ridiculous. It's got faith and int that I never intend to use, but I needed it to talk to NPCs. You know, I've got like 50 stamina or 60 stamina, which is probably way too much because I just don't really see the difference. You know, I've got, I think, 30 vitality. I know I've got 60 dex, and once again, I don't really think 60 dex makes a damn difference either. And I'm just using some of the equipment that I've been using as I've been playing. But what this is, as I mentioned, just a couple of invasions and an ability for me to share some thoughts. And there will be another video coming after this of me using blue orbs. Big shout out to Wasted Pixel. If anybody remembers my Dark Souls 1 PvP stuff, me and this guy did a fight in the Moonlight Forest. He's a really fun player, and I bumped into him, and our connection was probably the best I've had. So the things that people need to know. The game is obviously different to Dark Souls, the movement is different, and with it, you have to approach it really differently. Stun locking is massive in this game because poise doesn't seem to make any sense. I'm not even going to go into it because it just doesn't make any sense. Lag is a personal thing. If you have an interesting internet connection, you're going to have some interesting fights, and a lot of them aren't very fun, but there's literally nothing you can do. Dedicated servers will not help your internet because it doesn't help mine, and this is like the best case connection right now, and for Wasted this might have been a laggy mess, I don't know, but lag is massive for me and it kind of sucks, but what can you do? On top of that, there's a lot of people disconnecting, which I completely understand because that's what people do. It sucks that it still wastes an orb when orbs are now quite rare to get. I can't understand why From Software hasn't fixed that. Another thing is, you can be sent home, and I don't know how or what does it, but it's really, really annoying. I think it's probably the black separation crystal or that crazy woolly thing that's wrapped up in red thread. But they send you home and it wastes an orb. Once again, orbs are quite rare on this game, quite difficult to get. It's bullshit that it wastes your orbs. It's not fair at all. It should give you the orb back. It just makes perfect sense. If you're just a melee build and you have no magic or range at your disposal, you are at a massive disadvantage in this game. As you probably read on forums and you've probably experienced yourself, magic is tremendously powerful. I don't think it's overpowered, I just don't think we're used to magic being so accessible and so good. I think that's the issue. Like, every magic that's hit me, if it doesn't one-shot me, it does enough damage to be very concerned about my life. And if you don't have it, then you're at a disadvantage. 90% of the people I run into are wearing incredibly heavy armor and have tons of magic and are rolling around really fast. And there's one notion that is blowing me away so far, because the PvP has been really fun in that crazy, hectic, I don't know what I'm doing kind of way, but at the same time it's also been just bizarre. It's almost like everyone who worked on Dark Souls 1 and who's aware of Dark Souls 1 didn't have any input on Dark Souls 2, because every single patch that happened to Dark Souls 1, that slowed the great swords, that stopped the backstabs one-shotting you, you know, that did all that kind of stuff, is all being ignored here. Like, it's amazing. I get one-shot backstab every single time, pretty much. I don't think I've survived a backstab yet, and it's probably because I have quite low vitality and my armor is essentially toilet paper. This armor is incredibly light and it doesn't give you any armor at all, really. Once again, it took me ages to get, so I'm going to bloody wear it. But the greatswords swing faster than katanas. Stunlock is insane. It actually reminds me of Demon Souls, because like katanas can stunlock guys in massive armor, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's, a lot of people have been saying it's all about that first hit, and a lot of times it really is. You know, it's totally about that first hit. But watch some of these spells. Like, I know it went through my body and I should have rolled, but I'm so used to like the spells not being where they are, and on this game it seems at this moment that they are, so that's kind of interesting. But you get a lot of PvP here. This seems to be kind of like the new Berg or the new Kiln, and as you can tell there's a lot more people with bigger equipment. This guy's trying to roll BS me, I don't know if you've noticed, and that's why. So Backstabs are still a thing. If you think that they're not, you've not played somebody who knows what they're doing, because I get so many backstabs just by accident trying to attack people. But he was wearing an item that gives you random critical hits, and I have no idea how good that item is. I'm actually wearing it myself currently to test it out, but he didn't have a weapon, so that was either bare hand or cestus, and it still one-shot me. Like, I have no idea how the summoning works. I don't know what the level ranges work like. I know now that buffs... Brandon told me... Well, I say he told me, he didn't tell me. Brandon said on his first videos of Dark Souls 2 that buffs were noob traps. I'm sorry. Brandon, you're wrong. Every buff I've come up against does massive damage. So I don't know if they changed anything since he played, or maybe, you know, he just didn't like it, but buffs, you can buff weapons that shouldn't be buffable and they do insane damage, so you want to be careful, folks. Like, I feel on this game, because of the way that poise works, because of the guard break, that a shield is completely pointless. I feel stronger without a shield than I do with one, and that is just strange. Like, I'm using a bunch of different katanas here. I have no idea what that is. How do you do what he just did? I think he fired a special arrow. I just don't know. And that right there is us trading rings, if you've never seen those rings. I'm wearing a ring called the Old Sun Ring, and I actually put it on during PvE, and in one of my first invasions it did about 900 damage to somebody, which is more than I do with 2 swings. So I don't know what that's about, but it seems like a ridiculous ring. So I've been trying a bunch of different rings. I tried the reverse damage ring when you get hurt with the sun ring, and it just didn't seem to do shit. You know, I've tried... I wanted to put on the ring that stops damage from behind, but I'm sorry guys, it looks awful. It has a ghost hugging you, and I have no interest in that at all. So I'll probably never wear it. That is a guy I put a clip up about. That was the very next invasion. I have no idea how he has all the stuff that he has, but he's using it. Because in my little clip I put up, he hit me with... Well, he didn't hit me. He tried to hit me with Wog, which means he has hexes, he has Wog, he has bloody everything. That right there is the magical greatsword. Does more damage than greatswords. I don't know. This guy is using the Moonlight Greatsword, and he's got Crystal Magic weapon on it. The only reason I knew it was that weapon was when he did that to me. And I was like, what? So, it's crazy. And for some reason, invaders can't heal. Yeah, I know you can heal somehow because an invader healed on me, and I didn't see what he did. But I actually went to the bell tower today, and I was fighting a host, and one of those phantoms that turned up. So I kind of backed off to let the host fight him, and the phantom was being a bitch. So I went and fought the phantom. The phantom got me down to really small life, but I killed him, and then I couldn't heal. I couldn't use a divine blessing, I couldn't use a mushroom, I couldn't use anything. So, like, what the fuck is that about? But this guy's got massive armor on. He's wearing the smelter demon armor, and he's still moving real fast. So, like, what was the point in nerfing the flip ring? I don't understand it. It's kind of crazy. He went for the backstab then, and I get him instead. I wish mine did, you know, 1,000,000 damage like everyone else's, but apparently not. And they get weird iframes when they're recovering, so you want to be careful. Roll attacks are worthless because they're too slow to come out. It's probably my biggest gripe with the game, on top of all my other gripes, I guess. In Dark Souls 1, the roll attack for me was a counter hit. It was something you used quickly after a roll to kind of get that little bit of damage off on folks, and with katanas, it was incredibly powerful when you didn't get parried. But on this game, like, you have to delay it or you'll do it in the wrong direction, and when you delay it, they've already fucked off, so what's the point? Like, I don't think I'm ever going to roll... That's Wog, by the way, guys. I'd never seen it before, or I had seen it, but I didn't know I'd seen it, and now I know exactly what it is. Word on the street, because I'm a street kind of guy, and I'm also black and do indeed rap, you can shield it, and it does no damage. So if you ever see anybody doing that crazy gesture pose that he just did, he's dual wielding as well. These players, some creative builds happening, which is really cool. There's a bit of a pattern emerging here as I get absolutely smashed by everyone. This is weird. He has invisible weapons, and the only way I know to do this is either hidden weapon, which I don't think this guy's using, or to beat the game without dying or using a bonfire, because they give you those special rings. And it makes me think that this is probably a PvE guy who got into a little bit of PvP by accident. And I'm calling it now, guys. How long do you think it's going to be before they patch the Avelins? All I run into is double Evelyn elemental attacks, and they hit you when they're not even aimed at you. They do a staggered delayed shot that when you roll, you still get hit. Like, they're insanely powerful, and people are understanding they are. It's like the dual ranges from Modern Warfare 2. And the models, it's pretty damn insane. But that right there, guys, is my first bunch of invasions. Nothing about it is pretty. You know, it's not cookie cutter. I just threw them in. And so far, I think the PvP is going to be really, really fun, but we have to learn it because it's so different to Dark Souls 1. I don't think it's less precise. I just think now what they've done to the movement makes it feel less precise until we learn how to accommodate and how to move correctly in this game. So I'm not going to get all, oh, it's fucking shit, I hate it, why does anybody like this? Because there's no point. But what I am going to say is, I'm lagging hard, and it sucks. But I can't wait to not be lagging and to have a lot more fun with it, so I look forward to showing my adventure into PvP once again. And as always, you take care now.